Hi, hope you are all doing well. So this video is part of a series to show what can be done within a monorepo with Angular in the front end and nestjs in the back end. So in the previous video that I uploaded, we started to create a DB and we use a VS Code extension Thunder client for that. So now we'll try to do the same thing by building a user interface with Angular. So if you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, please don't forget to do so. You will like the amazing content that I drop here. Without further ado, let's continue our journey with our to-do application. So what I will first do is to go to the website of Angular Material. So there are some schematic that we use. But first thing first, let's try to add the Angular Material schematic. So I didn't install Angular globally. So I will need npx for that. Yes. Yes. So it will take a few minutes for the packages to be installed. So in the meantime, can continue to talk about some of the schematics that we will also add. We'll add the navigation schematics. It's very handy so that very quickly we can have this toolbar in our application. We can also have a navigation menu on the side. So it's very handy. Another schematic that I also find very handy is the dashboard schematic. I'm not sure that I'm going to add it, but it's very handy when you start building an application. So, but I guess for this application, we only use the navigation schematic. It will only this one will be useful for what we are trying to build, and maybe later on, if we need the dashboard, we can try to add it as well. So the packages are still are being downloaded. So maybe let's wait for a few minutes for it to complete. All the packages are now installed. So now let's go and add our second schematic. So we talk about the navigation schematic. So let's copy this one. But first thing, let's cd into our front end path. So let me copy this. Copy the path. CD. Yeah, because I need to add a component name. So let me just call it navigation. Okay, there is this error. We need to specify on which module is this component going to be imported. So let me say module, call it app. So it's going to be imported in this app module here. So our navigation is generated. So now what we try to do is okay. Now what we try to do is to remove all these this code that was generated at the start, and let's just call our navigation component. What's it called? Okay. So it's not yet found. So in app module, so it is imported here. let's run npm npx ng serve just to see what is happening. And so it's complaining that these components are not imported. Okay, maybe we can just try to import them in our application. It's strange why they weren't imported directly when we create when we use the schematic. We can now import them. Actually, they were imported. So normally, maybe it's just an issue with VS Code that is not updated yet. So the application is building. So now let's go to the browser and see. Okay, so everything is working perfectly. So the display is not exactly what we want. I guess it's just the style that is messing up with what we have. So let me remove this style that was generated at the start. And voila. So we have the toolbar. We also have the side menu here that was generated using the schematic of Angular of the navigation. This schematic that we added here. Now we try to add a component, a to-do list component, and then a to-do component. So we are going to use those two components to query our database. So now let me generate these two components. Okay, I need to cd into this one. I copy the path. And npx ng generate component. Let me call it to do list. Again, you have the same error. So let's just specify our module here. pp. So we have our to-do list component that is generated. So if we go to our to-do list, so this component will be the one that will display all the to-do that we do have within our application. So it will query, it will do a get request to get all the to-dos. So now let's now try to write the HTML page of this to-do, and we can use the math card for it. So let me go to the Angular material again and find the math card and that I will use. Component card. So we have some error because now we need to import the math card module. So the Ahmad card now is imported. So if you go to our to-do list component, it will now find all of them. Yes, VS Code is just a bit slow to be updated. So we don't. So maybe also what we can also try to do is to display this to-do list, because it's not yet we are not showing it yet. So what we try to do is to add a routing, and we use the command to generate a routing page. npx ng generate a module, and let's call it app routing. So instead of generating it in a new folder, we can generate it directly here in this app folder. So for that one, we need to say that it's going to be we're going to use the dash flat, so that it doesn't going to generate it within a new folder. So again, say module app. So now we have our routing module that is generated and is imported here within app module. So now we have to define our route. So it is of type route. Now we can add a path. Let's call it to do. To do list component. Now let's import this one. Guess my VS Code is a bit slow. And let me just try to reload my window. We can import the route. The route of Angular. I mean, we don't need that much this common module. We rather need to have a router module. That's important as well. Okay, now if you run our application again, okay, now let's go again and see our to-do list. Okay, is only what we imported here. So we make some changes to this. This component, if our component is rendered, application is doing. I mean, why the application is building? Let me go to PP module and import some other module that I think I can use. Reform and reactive form module. Both are imported. I guess also we need a map button module. And the math field module. And you have a small form where you can also add a to do. So I'm just adding these modules since we're going to use them. I find this math field module. Okay, we see them. If you run an application, then if you go to YouTube, to is not there is none. At to if you go again to module to-do list. So you have a to-do list component here, and this one is called app mode pp routing. Yeah, app routing is here, and then we are importing it in app module. Yes. So normally everything is here, but our component is not rendered. Can inspect and see. so we're not seeing anything. So let me stop and launch it again. It's normal because uh, I haven't used the router outlet anywhere. Okay, it's my mistake. Let's go to the navigation component, and inside this tag here, we'll use the router outlet. Yeah, the error of for the router outlet comes because of the app routing module. You need to export the router module. So now you can see that the error is gone. Let's start writing our to-do list HTML page. So we are using a math card. So a math card title. So I'm going to use this div. So a math card title, let's call it a to-do list. This to-do. The to-do list is better. So let's just call it a to-do list. To-do list. So you don't need a subtitle here. You don't need this image. Yes, you know this content. So maybe we might need some card actions. I don't think so. Yeah, if we need it, we'll add them. But for in the math content, so here is where we try to add a small loop to display all our to do within our application. So for now, let's just write something like div to one, copy paste, and another to do. What happened? Do we have now a to do here? So here they are. So you have them. So we'll so we have a to do here. So now let's also add the to do component. So again, we need to navigate to this folder. Generate the component and we call it to do. Again, we need and inside this component, I just want to generate I want to create an interface and call it to do. Which has an ID so it's complaining that we didn't use that to do or that we need to export it. We will export it because we also use it in a to-do list component. And in our to-do list component, we will now create a list of to-dos. So before we add data from the backend, let's just add code. So now that we do have some to-dos here, we can loop over this one within the template and display to the user. So I did add a few some few CSS rules. So this one we have a to-do list. That is not bad. So you have the name that is displayed and a button to display the to-do. So what we also the action we'll add on this to-do is that when we click on this to on this display, it will open a new page, and then on that page it will display more information on the to-do. Oh, for now we only have a single information on the to-do. It's just what we call the to-do name, but you can think that there might be several ways to interact with the to-do, and then those are interactions you can put them on a to-do page. I mean, so far we already have everything. I mean, talking about the display, we have our to-do list that is displaying the list of to-do. What we now need to do is to connect our data, our front end to the back end. And now we need to add our HTTP request. Actually, is the focus of this video, but we also need to a bit to style our display. So now let's go for our to-do list component. And in our to-do list component, we need to have a service that get all the to-dos, and we can add this service now and on NX. So we are having this error because it seems that we didn't import the math input. So let's go into that. Input module. So maybe instead of copying this one every time here, maybe this might be a very nice feature from Angular to have a copy paste icon here that you can click on instead of having to hover over the whole element. Anyway, let's copy it and paste it since my VS Code is not getting it. Okay. Now if you go, I guess it should be to the list. I guess now it should be able to, the error should go away. Load it again. I still have it again. Let's maybe need to build the whole application again. So in the meantime, let's add a control, it handle a click event on display. I mean, on click on this button, this what we would like to do is just to navigate to the to-do element. Okay, I guess now everything is okay. We have now this additional method to return to do directly from our database, and then we're also handling the request in our controller. I guess now if we go back to our to-do list, we are also getting the ID that is passed in the route and making the query associated. So I guess we can now navigate to our page and see. So first you can also try to add a new to-do. For this one we make the post request. Nothing happened. Okay. So let's see the network. Okay, first. Yeah, okay. It's because I now need to yeah, because I mean upon the completion of the request, we are not updating the page. So now we have the new, so we see that now post request is working properly. Maybe you can just so can just make it small change our to-do list. So we add and then okay, so maybe this one we can move it to get to-do list. Okay. And that way that way upon the completion of the post and also try to maybe add again another discussion. The change happen. Situation happens here. Now you can also change the display. Yeah. Something you can just do is just to display the to-do info directly from here as well. Okay, we can to-do info. Since we have it in the to-do component, so we are getting the to-do. Actually, you're not subscribing to it, and then when we get the data, what we do is just to display, just to assign it to do, and in the template we can just say it for now. This is the set because by default, initially to is not set, so it's not to only after the completion of the request. So that way we don't have an error in the template rendering. So now again, if we try to do the same thing, it will display the name of it to do. I have an error here. Okay, let's do. If we do it from here, I have an error. Okay. In the request, because okay, we are not passing this ID. Okay, let's use a string template instead. So you can see the request line, and then the description also is displayed here. So we can see that a connection, is properly done between our Angular front end and then the backend. And we are able to make the same query as we were doing last time. So there are additional queries that you can add. Maybe you can try to edit this studio from this page here. Maybe these are some additional improvement we can do maybe in our next video. So I hope that you enjoy this session where we try to connect our Angular part with our backend.